Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 12th of July 2019, so welcome everyone and welcome to this Friday's morning session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimers. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, let's jump into the charts. Now the first one I want to touch on here is Nikkei 225. Now, looking at this chart here, and just to kind of point out something, I mean, looking at this daily chart, you can see that, of course, Nikkei is already closed. It just closed right now. But on TradingView, we have a bearish candle here forming, and actually a bearish candle here showing that Nikkei closed in the negative territory. But to be honest, looking at other sources, I mean, we can see that Nikkei actually closed in the positive zone. So in a way, but probably it's just minor thing. I mean, it wasn't a huge gain, so that's why what we're going to do here is mainly focus on the 4-hour chart, and this is what I wanted to show you. Now, a while ago, about 2 weeks ago, I was talking about Nikkei, and I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this potential formation here, and this kind of rising wedge formation. And as you can see, it was initially it was finding good resistance near the 21,784 85 zone, approximately around there, and then kind of since then it drifted lower. But what I was saying, that we may see something like this happening. So for now, it seems like it's working. It's working nicely. So according to plan, we did have a nice rejection near the lower side of this rising wedge. So and you can see that the Nikkei kind of pushed higher, and it's kind of at least trying to make its way higher. Now, what we could do here is we'll continue observing this one. We'll continue targeting higher levels. The only thing is that in order to get slightly more comfortable with the upside, ideally we would like to see a nice good push above the 21,785 zone here. This way, the index would confirm a higher high here on the shorter time frame on the 4-hour chart, and we could then target areas like the 21,875, or even going further up here. Now, this level has to be adjusted slightly because in a way there's better areas of potential resistance. Like one of them could be this one right here near the slightly above the 22,000 level, near the 22,060 zone. So we're not going to drag this one too high yet. We're just going to target, we're just going to go slowly, step by step, and target some of these slightly higher areas. For now, that's the game plan for Nikkei. I mean, like I said, yes, we are somewhat more bullish, but just for that better confirmation, a push above the 21,785 could open the door towards these slightly higher levels. In terms of the downside, now, if this decides to break the lower side of this rising wedge sooner, and decides to drop below this level right here, let me just quickly highlight this one. Now this is where it could turn out to be quite interesting for the bears, and this level here is near actually needs to be adjusted a little bit as well. So like I said, this was a while since we've looked at this one, so this is the level that we're going to be talking about. So the 21,490 zone approximately there, and a nice good drop below this area here could open the path towards slightly lower levels. Initially we will target the 200 EMA here on the 4-hour chart, but to be honest, there are slightly there are better areas of support, of potential support further down the line here. So for now, guys, be very careful with this one, and like I said, keep your eyes on some of these potential breaking points. There we go. Let's put an arrow here, and yeah, silver. Also, I looked at silver in the beginning of this week, and basically I was telling you guys to watch out for this downside channel here, and we managed to reach the upper side of it. But what I was also saying from the short-term perspective, I think we were still kind of trading around here, around this 200 EMA, but I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this 15.08 level approximately there. A nice big pop above it could open the path towards the this upper side of the falling channel. But of course we got that nice move here. So what we could do here is a little bit redraw everything here. Let me just quickly up. There we go. So basically what we're going to do here, we're going to continue monitoring this falling channel, even though we did have an overshoot here. You can see we did have a break, and but if we look at the daily chart, you can see that the daily candle has never closed above this upper side of the falling channel formation. So in a way, we jump back into the 4-hour chart. Yes, we did have a break here on the 4-hour, but never kind of saw the close of the daily candle. So in a way, let's wait for we need to see a nice bit clear break, and ideally a close of a daily candle either above this falling channel or below it here. So for now, of course, you can see that it shifted back down, but we're going to be very careful here. I mean, we're going to aim for a little bit lower maybe, but we'll only do that if we see a drop below this level right here, and near the 15.085 level, approximately around there. As you can see, it acted as a good area of support recently here, to be more precise, yesterday. So in a way, if we do see a drop below this, would confirm a forthcoming lower low here on this little short-term time frame here, and yep, could target slightly lower areas. We could then maybe even go below the psychological 15 level again and test the 14.95. so keep your eyes on this one. If we see a nice good push above the upper side of this this falling channel formation, that's good news. But as I said before, let's wait for that daily close here above this upper side of this falling channel, and then we'll continue targeting higher levels. AUDJPY, very interesting pair, very interesting formations happening here. So as you can see by the chart now, I mean, it's quite self-explanatory. I mean, you can see that the pair is kind of stuck here within this range here. It's kind of ranged roughly between the 75.12 on the downside and the 75.9190 on the upside, approximately around there. So as you can see, the pair from yesterday, it almost managed to reach this lower side of this this range, and but kind of failed to do that and reversed and pushed higher. Now it's up near the upper side of it. So good run here for AUDJPY, but we're still going to remain somewhat neutral here, because well, in order to kind of consider the upside, further upside, we need to see that nice clear break above the 75.91 level. And to be honest, what we're going to do here is we're going to probably leave this one for next week, but of course we'll keep a close eye on today. If we see a daily close above this area here, above the 75.90, then yep, we will aim for higher levels next week. Initially we'll target the 76.28 zone, marked by the high of the 30th of June. And let me just actually double check this. This could be actually the highest point of June as well. So basically this highest point here of June could be that nice good target if we see a nice good daily candle close above the 75.90 level. So keep your eyes on that one. In terms of the downside, well, I mean, again, of course, the conservative approach here would be if we wait for a push below the 75.12, right here. But from the shorter term perspective, I mean, what you could keep an eye on here is this little level near the 75.62, a nice good drop below this, and a drop below the 200 EMA here, shown as the black line. This could potentially lead towards the lower side of this range. So for now, if we draw some arrows here, basically this is the scenario for the upside, where we need to wait for a clear break and a close, and the short-term scenario to the downside is this, where we are going to wait for a break below the 75.62 level, but the more conservative approach is this one right here, the 75.12. So keep your eyes on these levels. GBPCHF, very quickly on this one, and of course showing it's fighting. It's GBP is still fighting, trying to fight at least, and you can see that the pair kind of is trying to make its way higher. Now previously when I talked about GBPCHF, I was talking about this level right here, the 1.2357, and just to kind of show you what that level was in the past, basically guys, that was it marks the intraday swing low. I mean, let me just quickly double check that, because that was the level from the flash crash that we had here. So that was the low of 3rd of January. So good level here, but you can see that the pair managed to drift even slightly lower below that. So in a way, what we could do here is adjust this key area of support now. So it's basically now around here, somewhere around the 1.2343 zone. So not much, only about 10 pips lower, but as you can see, it kind of continues to hold nicely the pair from kind of moving lower. So if I'll just drop this highlighted area right here, just for a future reference, so we can know what's the more important level for us here right now. So basically this is going to be the one to watch further down the line as well, the 1.2343 area. If we see a nice good drop below this, then yep, this could open the path towards lower levels. Of course, this would confirm a lower low, and yep, more sellers could be joining in here and pushing this one further down, maybe even going towards the 1.2290 or even below that. For now, you can see that we had a nice rebound. It's trying to make its way higher. We're keeping from the short-term perspective, we're keeping an eye on this level right here, the 1.2448 zone. If we see a push above this, that's good news. We could see the pair drifting a little bit higher here, maybe towards the 1.2490. But if that fails to withhold, now this is where it could become a little bit more exciting. We could see, of course, initially a test of this 200 EMA. This is where the rate could stall. But if the acceleration is still strong, then yep, further moves higher could be possible. So for now, basically, long story short, guys, from the very short-term perspective, keep an eye on the 1.2448. If we see a nice good push above it, then yep, we'll aim for slightly higher levels. But if this, let's say, stays around here, then, well, to be honest, I mean, probably it's gonna wait for next week until it could move somewhere, or it can give us a clear directional move. USDCAD, very quickly on this one, it's quite interesting. I talked about this one recently, and basically what I was telling you, to keep a close eye on this little potential range here, roughly between the 1.30 and on the downside, and the 1.3145 on the upside. So in a way, you can see that it moved away from the upper side of it, and now it's kind of flirting with the lower side of this range. Now, of course, you can see that it's now kind of trying to break it. It's trying to make its way lower. Let's see if actually the bears can continue pushing this one lower. I mean, it is already creating a lower low, so the next potential target here could be near the psychological 130 level, and then we'll take it from there, see what it wants to do after. In terms of the upside here, well, what you could do is, from the very short-term perspective, let's say even for today, what you could do is keep an eye on this 1.3083, the high of yesterday, and then if we do see a nice push above it, then yep, we could start aiming for slightly higher levels, like the 1.3145. By the way, this 1.3083, we need to slightly adjust it there, but that's the high of yesterday, near the 1.3095. so keep your eyes on that one. A break below this could open the paths towards slightly higher levels. And the last pair for this session is the euro dollar. Now this is continues to be very tricky, because as you can see, this 1.1275, I've mentioned this level here in all of my videos this week, where I was covering euro dollar, and it continues to struggle to kind of push above it. Yesterday it did struggle to do that. It then reversed back, dropped back below this upside support line, which, to be honest, by the way, we can actually get rid of, because it's already kind of has been violated a few times, so it's no longer relevant. So what's more important here now is this level right here near the 1.1275. Basically a nice good push above this could open the path towards slightly higher levels. We will aim for the 1.1312, something like that zone here, or even a little bit higher. Let me just kind of push this one, 1.1313. Nice good superstitious number here. So that's why, like I said, for now, guys, be very careful. If, of course, see this one dropping back below the 1.1240, well, I mean, this could turn out to be ugly for the bears, and we could see this one sliding back towards the 1.12, or even slightly below that at 1.1190. So keep your eyes on these two levels, basically on the upside, because it's kind of closer right now. There is more chance for this one to push further here, but again, like I said, we need to see that, we need to wait for that clear push above the 1.1275, and then we could aim for slightly higher levels. So keep your eyes on this one, and like I said, on the downside, keep your eyes on the 1.1240. A drop below this could eventually, or even actually, we can lift this one a little bit higher here around the 1.1242 zone, something like that. So, or should I say, actually, where's that magnet? There we go. So it's near the 44. So 1.1244 could be that nice good breaking point here for the bears to kind of more bears to start joining in here and pushing euro dollar lower. Okay, guys, I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for sticking around and watching it till the end. If you want to join me later on at my traders' tea time, as always, that's 13:15 GMT time. For now, I hope we have a wonderful trading day, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.